Welcome to the Get Inspired with Gerd show, brought to you by Gerd's Handel. Join us each week to be inspired, informed and uplifted with some of the most inspirational and motivational guests from around the world. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay inspired.
Hello and welcome to another show of Get Inspired with Gerds. I'm your host and today I have a stunning inspirational guest with me who's breaking down barriers as one of the first female Asian DJs. To me, she's one of the most genuine people I know. Harpz, aka DJ Harpz, to me is an absolute inspiration. She is the presenter of the Bhangra Show on Fever FM and All Stars FM. She's also a broadcast journalist and has worked with the likes of BBC Radio 4, Capital FM and Metro Radio. And she recently won the Outstanding Journalist of the Year award at the Asian Media Awards in 2014. Harpz, welcome to my radio show and thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, bless you. No, it's a pleasure of mine. Harpz, you're an absolute inspiration for Asian women. Can you tell the listeners how you kind of fell into the world of DJing?
First of all, that's very overwhelming to think that I'm an inspiration. But I think it's all just started off with a passion. Ever since I kind of grew up around music, like literally from the day I was born. And I think with, friends and family who around that time used to listen to a lot of R&B and hip-hop, and I used to kind of just copy off it. I used to kind of sit with them and be like, yeah, I like this, even though I wouldn't understand a word. But since then, music has literally kind of just been a part of me. It literally is a massive part of my life. I never really thought I was going to be a DJ as such, but I always knew I was going to do something with it. Believe it or not, I'm willing to confess this. I even thought at one point I was going to become an amazing singer. I actually did a singing project at uni. I actually made my own little mixtape, did a little music video, regretted it for the rest of my life, still do.
No.
But it was all just part of the process. And I kind of thought, you know what? I have to do something with this because I just cannot keep myself away from it. Then once I got into radio, obviously music was still there. And then that's when I kind of thought, I probably hit around 22, 23. And that's when I thought, you know what, I would love to become a DJ. If I could actually do it, that would be amazing. And then at uni, I was surrounded by so many, friends actually as well that were DJs. So watching them, out and about in clubs, at parties, at weddings, it kind of it became something that I just wanted to do it. So I'd stand next to them, and I'd be like, show me how you do this, show me how you did that. Oh my God, that sounds so good. How did you do it? And from that point onwards, that's when I thought, you know what? Yes, I love doing this. I'm going to do it. And I don't care how long it takes me to learn. So I did it. And now, I feel as though I've got to a point in my life where I'm taking it a lot seriously now. It's not just a dream or something I wanted to do. I actually love it. I love and breathe it now. And I didn't think I was going to get to that point, especially being a girl.
Wow. Yeah, I was about to ask you about that. How did people react, you being a female Asian DJ?
That's a good question, actually, because I got mixed reactions. If we're to start with family first, I think my mum and dad were a bit confused. Like, what? You want to be a DJ?
Was it that kind of sound?
Who's told you to do that? It wasn't bad. I was quite lucky in the sense, I've got a very supportive family. They've never really stopped me from doing what I want to do. Bless them. But I know in the back of their minds, or the inside, somewhere deep down, they do have this kind of not really fear as such, but they've never really seen a girl doing what I do, so they're a bit confused as to why I've gone down this journey. But once I kind of sat down and I explained to them, look, I love music, I love and breathe it, I love entertaining people. It's what I love to do, and I've just picked a different pathway to kind of showcase that. And once I started getting in the gigs, once I started getting bookings, and I think that's when they kind of realised, you know what, she's doing really well. People are always talking about her. She's busy now, especially with wedding season coming up. I'm always like, oh yeah, Mum, I've got a booking, I've got a gig. So they know I'm getting the work in. And I think because they see it on my face now as well, how much it means to me, their reaction has kind of changed. But I think the fact I'm an Asian female DJ will still always be it's kind of a stigma thing, isn't it? It is going to be a shock to a lot of people. I've got, friends and, I kind of have like reactions from elders especially, who will turn around and say, oh, why are you doing that? It's boy thing to do. Don't be doing that. It's not good. Don't be going out late and stuff like that. I still do get that from certain people. But I think it's just kind of a stereotype you've got to work with. You just have to work with it. But I have actually had a lot of positive reaction as well, to say the least. There's a lot of people I know that I've kind of turned around and go, oh my God, you're actually DJing. Oh my God, you're at this event. Oh my God, I want you at my wedding. I do get that excitement as well. So it is a bit, there is a balance. You do have to kind of live with the fact there will be people that don't accept it. There will be people that have an issue with it. But I'm just thankful that, the people around me that are close to me don't really seem to have a massive problem with it. As long as they know I'm enjoying it and I'm getting the work in, that's the main thing. And it's what I love to do. So I wouldn't change it for the world, and I wouldn't stop it for anyone either.
Oh, amazing. I absolutely love it. Love it. What kind of obstacles did you face though? Obviously you had, the community people. Were there any other obstacles like when you were starting out that you had to...
Okay, yeah. First of all, I think, stating the obvious, just being an Asian girl, it was hard because, you don't see many other Asian girls doing it, and especially up north, I don't know a lot. In fact, I could probably name 2 people. So yeah, I can count girl DJs off one hand, literally. But it was a bit scary. I think it wasn't such an obstacle, but it was something I wanted to kind of overcome at the same time by telling myself, I don't know many girls that are doing this, so why not just try it? I'm going to try and prove that we can do this, and I'm pretty sure there are other girls out there that want to do the same thing, but they're a bit scared to do it because they probably do think, oh, we're going to have to win so many people over and talk them into why we want to do it. So yeah, I think the whole few obstacles technically, because even though I did radio, I kind of went into it thinking, oh, I'll pick it up really fast. It looks quite easy, but it's not. Like anything, nothing is easy. You've got to work hard for it. So, putting in the time and the effort and realizing that, partying at events such as Mendy nights and weddings and, that's hours and hours of work. It's not, you don't just walk in, press play and come out. It doesn't look like that. And any other gig that you have, it's not just a case of going in, pressing play, pressing stop and walking out. It doesn't, it doesn't work like that. You have to put together playlists, you have to kind of beat match, which songs go with what, when to play what as well. And technically as well, all the technical things, you've got to learn all that. And that was an obstacle in itself because I wasn't used to doing it. I wasn't used to standing for so many hours either. So that was a problem in itself. But like I said before, everything is hard at first. Nothing comes easy. You've got to work hard for it. So there were a couple of obstacles, yeah, here and there. But, you've just got to do what you've got to do.
Absolutely. I 100% agree on that. And obviously being in the same kind of world as yourself as a journalist, I know where you're coming from. And now, my dear, like, obviously, you're a DJ and you that's one of your passions, but you're also a broadcast journalist.
I am.
Tell me a bit more about this.
This kind of started off when everyone was like, especially my mum and dad, well, you need to decide what you want to be. What do you want to be? And ever since I was little, I used to have this habit of always telling people, I'm going to be famous. I'm going to be on the TV. I'm going to be on radio. But you know what? Deep down, I didn't have a clue about any of it. Not once did I ever take it. It just used to be something that I used to just love saying to people, especially my friends. I was like, you just watch. I'm going to be in your TV screen when I'm older. And then when I got to uni, I picked media. So I did my degree in media studies, went on to doing a postgrad in broadcast journalism. And I think those years of my life were the years where I realised this is actually what I'm made for. This is what I want to do. DJing is a passion. Like I said, it's a hobby. It's a thing I do on the side. But really what I really want to do, I live and breathe radio. I love it. I started off doing it as work experience. I've worked for many big names as well. I'm lucky in the sense that I've managed to get my foot in the door with a lot of big, a lot of big people in the industry. And that kind of kind of awoke something inside of me saying, do you know what, Harpz, you're good at this, and this is what you're going to do in life. You know, this brings out the best in you, and it did. You know, I went on to having my own shows. You know, I now do 3 shows a week, a 4th one being slightly different on a different station. But now I can't see myself doing anything else but that. And I think I have to say, during my years at uni, that's when I kind of realised I love doing this. I love my job. You know, I love being on radio. You know, I started off doing a lot of news reporting and news reading stuff as well. So I was in the news industry quite a bit. But then I think, going back to what I said before, you know, I've always loved music so much that I cannot let go of it. I'm listening to it in the car, I'm listening to it in the shower, I'm listening to it even in bed before I go to sleep, right? That's how much I live and breathe it. And I thought, you know what, I want to go more down that route, and I'd love to be a part of, you know, that kind of world where I can be on the radio and bring in music as well. And that's what I'm doing now. And you know, thankfully it's all worked out all right.
Oh, bless. Wow. So for any kind of listeners listening out there, what kind of advice could you give them about the world of journalism when they're trying to start out? Do you have any tips?
I do, and I think the list goes on, but I'll try to keep it as short as I can. This industry is a very, very hard industry to break into. And I'm going to be honest, that is the harsh reality. It is very tough to get into. But you have to be consistent, you have to be determined, and you have to have the passion as well. You have to enjoy what you're doing. You know, I don't think I would have got as far as I have so far without that. If I didn't have, you know, that passion inside of me and determination. It's because I tell myself every day, this is what I want to do. You know, I tell myself all the time, I don't want to see me doing anything else. I don't want to be forced into doing something else that I'm not going to enjoy, because you know, a job shouldn't really be it shouldn't feel like a job if you love it, right? So, you know, you should do something that you look forward to doing, and don't lose hope. I think, you know, we all go through these stages in life where we're looking forward to something and it's not going the way you want it to go, and you kind of just sit there going, oh, do you know what? I'm going to throw it all out the window. I've had enough. I'm not going to do it. But we have them moments. I'm not saying don't do it, because it's natural. It is a natural feeling, but you have to keep picking yourself back up and telling yourself you can do this. It is possible. The amount of times I've been through that phase is unbelievable. You know, I still go through it now, but I have to keep telling myself that, you know, I'm nowhere near where I want to be yet. And that's the honest truth, kids. Like, I'm nowhere near where I want to be. I feel like my goal is so far away still. I want to accomplish so much more. And I'm going to keep trying my best to, you know, until I get there. And I just want to say, especially in particular to all the young girls out there that might be a similar age as me, who want to do, you know, a similar thing as me, that don't let anybody ever tell you that you cannot do this or you can't do it. In fact, don't let them tell you you can't do anything, because you can do absolutely anything you put your mind to. If you enjoy it, you like doing it, you do it. Don't let anyone ever come in between that, because I've kind of realised growing up that there will be a lot of people along your journey, you know, passing by, who will want to bring you down, who will want to say things to you just so you don't get to where you want to be. You know, you get the jealous ones, but you also get people who kind of don't give a crap about what you're doing. They just don't care. But to you, they'll say one thing, but they won't mean it. And everybody comes across that, you know, that kind of negative vibe. But you just have to kind of tell yourself, I'm going to block myself out of this zone. You know, I'm going to put myself in my own little bubble, and I'm just going to get on with it. And, you know, in terms of DJing, especially the Asian girls out there, why not? Why can you not do it? I want somebody out there to give me one good reason for why an Asian girl can't do DJing. Why can she not become a DJ? There's not a valid reason on this planet that I think I will accept. So if you like doing it and you want to do it, go out there and prove everyone wrong. You know, give them a challenge. Give the guys a challenge. Stand up to it and say, you know what, I can do better than you. Because I'm pretty sure there are some girls out there that probably can DJ better than a lot of guys out there that can probably do that. So come out and do it. And another thing, I think being Asian, I know I keep coming back to it, but being Asian, we all have this kind of automatic thing built inside of us where we have this fear, and it's just, I'm scared what people are going to think. I'm scared what people are going to say. And that's what girls are lacking. They're lacking the confidence. You have to tell yourself, we're in a different time, we're in a different day and age now. Things have changed a lot. Nobody can stop you from doing it. Pick up that confidence and go out there and grab it. If that's what you want to do, you go do it. And I don't really want to call myself much of an inspiration, but to kind of, think about it and go, you know what, if she can do it and she's got the courage to kind of come out and say, some girls can be better than guys.
Yeah, absolutely, Harpz. I think a lot of people don't realise it doesn't matter what gender you are, you can do anything you want in life.
You can. Of course you can. You can do anything. Obviously, maybe not guys giving birth, but apart from that, you can do anything.
Literally, very true, very true. But yeah, no, I agree with exactly what you're saying. There's a lot of... I think it's just from a young age we're kind of told, be whatever you want to be. Then we go to school and we're told to be realistic. But the reality is we can do whatever we want. It doesn't matter, even as an ethnic minority myself, like you said. Well, we do go through a lot of prejudice. It's because of the society we're in. A girl should do this, a guy should do that. You're not allowed to think outside the box. But the reality is,
absolutely,
life is short. You've got to do what you love because this is your opportunity now. Any of you guys are listening at the moment, you can't let somebody stop you from doing what you love, because if you do, you will regret it. You'll be at your deathbed at the age of 60 wondering why you did what you do.
Yeah, you will. And I just want to say as well, I have seen people go through that. I've seen certain people get to a certain age and go, do you know what, it's too late for me to do that now, but I wish I did. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be very honest now. I'm at the age of 25. I actually went this. I'm going to have my dream job. I'm going to be settled. I'm going to have kids, blah, blah, blah. But life doesn't work like that. You have to have a plan. But it doesn't mean you necessarily have to stick to it, right? What I mean by that is I'm 25. I used to think, by 25, I want kids. I want my dream job. I want family. I want to be settled. That's not happened yet. And I know, I've still got a long way to go. But what I'm trying to say is I did have that plan, but the plan doesn't always go to the timescale that you kind of wanted it to work at. So what I'm trying to say is I'm now 25, right? And I don't know if I want to kind of DJ up until I'm 30. Do I want to be doing this at this age right now? I can't answer that. If I'm honest, I can't answer that because I don't know where I'm going to be in the next year. In fact, I don't know where I'm going to be tomorrow. But if you want to do something, just do it. Don't keep telling yourself, I'll do it later, I'll do it next year, when I've got more time to do this, blah, blah, blah. There is no need to think like that. And I've learned the hard way. You just can't afford to do that. I used to say at 22, I want to be a DJ. I'm going to learn. I didn't necessarily start that straight away. I've only started, doing my bookings and my roadshow stuff about a year ago. But I used to dream of it about 2-3 years ago, but I didn't make it happen. Until you physically don't get up and say, I'm going to do this, it won't happen. And that's just the way it is with anything. Not just this, in anything in life. If you want to do it now. Act on it now. Tell yourself, this is what I need to do to get there, and work for it. But please, I stress, build up that confidence and do not sit in a room telling yourself, oh, I don't want to come out and do it. I'll just do it here in my room. I'll do it as a little hobby. Because there are people that do that. There are people that will just sit there and go, oh, you know what? Yeah, I DJ as well. But, if I have conversations with them sometimes going, oh, well, why don't you, put yourself out there, start getting some bookings, go and do little events. And they're just like, no, I don't know how my mum's going to feel. I don't know how my dad's going to think. I don't know what people are going to think. But who cares about what anyone thinks? If you're good at it, you enjoy it, go out there and do it, because you're gonna make the most of your life by doing something you enjoy, right? There's no point putting yourself through something that you hate. You don't want to wake up in the morning to something that you just cannot stand. I don't want to wake up tomorrow and be like, oh my God, I need to go, I don't know, strawberry picking, right? But I don't want to do that. So why do I want to put myself through it? Why do I want to go through that pain and headache of, it's just going to be stress because I'm not enjoying my life, and I don't want to live with a dream of going, I want to be the best radio presenter one day. Well, I need to do something about that, because that's not going to come to me. I need to go get it. So yeah, I think, build that confidence and follow your dream. If you have a dream, you can make it true.
Very, very true. And I know exactly where you're coming from. Guys, a lot of you don't actually know, I'm actually originally from Leeds. I'm from Harpz's ends, as I would say.
Repping out town.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, it was very hard when I started out as well, Harpz. Like, you know, I didn't know who to help. I had no media contacts. I had to create my own. Everyone laughed at me, said to me I couldn't do it. But I had that belief in myself that, you know what, I can achieve whatever I want. And I did. And I even worked out in Canada. And, you know,
Amazing.
like yourself, I was the same. Like, I don't know where tomorrow will be. And, like, for me, I never thought I'd start out and be a motivational speaker. It just happened by chance.
It just happens, yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
It takes time. And I think a lot of people, you need to understand that just go and do your dream, because if you don't, you're going to regret it.
Yeah. And I think, you know, patience is key. Patience is key as well, guys, because, you know, a lot of people get very impatient along the way going, I just can't be bothered now. It's not happening. Let's just drop it. You know, you have to learn to keep that patience. You have to keep telling yourself nothing's going to happen overnight. You know, things don't work like that. You're not going to get your dream job when you wake up in the morning. You know, it might take weeks, it might take months, but it will happen. If it's supposed to happen, it will happen when it's meant to be, when the time is right. I'm a strong believer of, you know, everything happens for a reason and everything happens in its own timing. I am a strong believer of that. And, you know, I might not be where I want to be just yet. And I'm saying that loud and proud. I'm not. I'm far from it. But I do have that one thing in my mind that tells me every single day I will get there. And I don't care how long it's going to take. I don't care if I'm 30, if I'm 40, if I'm 50. Until I've done that, that is when I will be able to turn around and say, right, okay, you know what? I've done what I want to do in my life. Now let's just sit back, relax. But until then, I'll keep doing it. I will keep doing it.
I know you will, because I know how you are and I know what you're doing, and I know exactly you will. You'll definitely nail it. And just for the listeners to understand that you're right about it, you have to be patient, because if you look at even entrepreneurs, you know, Thomas Edison, he created 10,000 light bulbs that failed, and then the last one was what actually created our light bulbs.
There you go.
So
there you go.
You can't give up on your dream. If you want it
You
so
just
bad,
can't.
you've just got to keep going and just embrace it. But my dear, anyways, so you recently won the Outstanding Journalist of the Year award at the Asian Media Awards. Tell me about this.
Just very quickly, I didn't actually win. I came down to the last four, so I was a finalist. But it was the most amazing experience of my entire life. You know, I could not believe when I got shortlisted. Just being shortlisted was unbelievable. I can't, you know, I'm lost for words now even telling you how I felt. I didn't even think I had a chance at this. You know, I came across somebody who asked me about it. Oh, you know, do you want to put yourself forward for the Asian Media Awards? And I was my initial reaction was like, what is that? I don't even know what it is. And they're like, you know, well, we've seen your work, we've seen you do this. You should really go, you know, you should really go for it. And I thought about it for a while, and I thought, well, you know, I looked online and I saw some really big names, and I thought, how am I going to put myself forward with these huge names in the industry that, you know, have spent years and years and years to get to where they are, and there's me just starting out. How is this even possible? But I thought, you know what, let's give it a shot. I did it. A couple of months later, I got an email saying I've been shortlisted from like hundreds and hundreds of people down to the last four.
Wow.
And just that feeling was unbelievable. I went down to the launch, met some amazing people, you know, made the most amazing contacts. And this is an example in itself. You know, if you ever have that doubt in your mind that you're not capable of something, or you're far from even, you know, having a chance, or you just do it and look what happens. Because never in a million years would I have thought I was going to be sat in a room at a ceremony, at the award ceremony, with people I've grown up watching on TV.
Wow.
That I would never have imagined that to happen.
Wow.
And, you know, I saw some amazing people, met some inspirational individuals that I've grown up listening to, watching, hearing, you know, in the media industry, and having to actually have that one-to-one conversation with them, even if it lasted 30 seconds or 15 minutes, right? That was the highlight of my life. And why was it more amazing? Because when I first had somebody tell me, do you want to do this? My initial reaction was, what's the point? That is honestly what I thought. I was like, why am I going to do this when I've got no chance of getting there? But that feeling when I was sat in that room was incredible. And that is why I have now learned that no matter what it is, doesn't matter how far off you think you are from it, just do it, because you have no idea what the outcome is going to be. And, you know, you could be in for a treat. You'd be in for a shock. I certainly was, and I never thought that was going to happen. But it's brought me to places now where I never imagined as well. You know, things are happening for me now. Things are, you know, I've made contacts. There's certain people speaking to me, which I never even thought I'd have their name in my phone address book. But I do now, and it's amazing, and it's all because of that. So, you know, if you ever have the opportunity to do something and you're telling yourself, nah, you know, I'll leave it, just do it. Even if it doesn't happen, just do it. You have to do it. So, yeah, the awards, an amazing experience. I'd do it all over again if I could.
Oh, wow. No, you're absolutely right with your saying, my dear. It's like, I feel like you're speaking my mind.
So great minds think alike, my friend.
Of course. Maybe it's the journalistic antennae. I don't know. But yeah, no, absolutely, you're right. You've just got to do it no matter what, and it will happen if you believe it. And like you said, like you didn't expect that, but because you were so focused in what you wanted to do as a journalist, that it came to you. Yeah,
you just never know. Honestly, you will never know what's going to happen. Just do it. You have to try it. You'll never know unless you try. That's the one thing I have to put forward for anything you want to do in life. Doesn't matter what it is. You will never know until you try it. You just have to try it.
Definitely. So, Maddie, we are coming towards the end of the show, but I want to ask, what are your 5 top tips for someone who's thinking of becoming a journalist or a DJ?
Ooh, that's a hard one. Okay, number 1, you have to have that belief. Self-belief is a must. If you can't tell yourself that you can do it, nobody else can do it for you. So until you don't get that attitude inside of you every single day, every single night, I can do this, I want to do this, it's not going to happen. You have to keep doing that. So, you know, self-belief is a must. I think number 2, you have to be confident. Be confident. Don't ever don't sit there being nervous or being shy or feeling intimidated even. Don't ever think, you know, I don't think I can go out there and do this. You can do it. You can do it. You have to keep saying you can. You need to build that confidence inside of you to say you can. Number 3, I think, especially if you're Asian, I'm going to keep coming back down to this. If you are an Asian, I don't care if you're a girl or a boy, but you're Asian. Don't let any other Asian person tell you that you cannot do what you want to do. This is your life. This is your choice, and it's going to be your future. So the end result is going to have to be you that's going through it. So why not pick something you enjoy, you like doing, because only you can make yourself feel good, right? And you don't ever let any other person tell you that you can't. I don't want to come across in a, you know, no offense to any like parents or elder people out there that might not, you know, agree with this kind of pathway, you know, being a journalist or being a DJ. But all I'm trying to say is, you know, kind of let your kids do what they feel they're good at, because they're only going to do well and be more successful in the path that they choose, rather than a path that's been forced upon them, you know, something that they've been forced to do. You know, you need to give them that kind of freedom.
Absolutely. I see it within London a lot, my dear. I come across a lot of ethnic minorities. Again, I didn't want to say it, but you started it, so I've got to finish it now.
Somebody's got to say it, right?
Exactly. And they're not happy in what they're doing. They're just doing it for the sake of money. And when you do it for money, you will be never happy. You've got to do your passion first, and the money will eventually come, because when you become a master of what you do, the money will come like abundance to you.
Yeah, 100% agree. 100% agree with that. That is exactly what it is. You know, you've got to have that drive in thinking that will come later. You can't keep having the goal of, I need to make millions and millions and millions. I want to see this massive figure in my bank account. That comes, you know, that stuff comes with time. You have to work for it first. It's not just going to appear. You know, you've got to graft hard. I think number 4, work hard. You have to put in the effort. You have to put in the time. Don't think, you know, it's easy. It's not easy, but it's like anything else. Nothing's easy. You have to put that effort. You're only going to get out what you put in, right? And that is the one thing you have to kind of keep telling, that, you know, I am going to work hard and I am going to be where I want to be, because without the hard work, it's not going to happen. So hard work is a must.
Great.
It is a must. You can't just, you know, you can't just tell yourself, oh, you know, this seems really easy, I'm going to do it. You know, it doesn't work like that. You've got to work hard. And I think number 5, this is hard, isn't it? Thinking of tips. I think the 5th one has to be yourself, right? You have to be original. Don't copy anyone. Never tell yourself that, oh, I can't think of anything myself, so I'll just do what she did. I'll just do what he did. Be yourself. The only way people are going to make time for you more as well is if you're original and you're actually putting across your own personality. You're actually showing them who you really are. Don't put on a front. Don't pretend you're something that you're not. You come across that all the time in anything. There'll be certain people that'll copy for the people's style and copy for the people's image. Like, just be you. There's no need to kind of think I need to fit in with everyone. The reason you were made is to stand out, right? So if you want to stand out, you've got to make yourself different. Give yourself a unique image. Give yourself a different style to everyone else. But be yourself and be true to yourself. Don't ever let somebody else kind of take over what you're doing, and then nobody being able to tell the difference between you and that person. You want to be different, you want to bring something different to the table. So yeah, I think be yourself. You have to be yourself. Be original. Don't be a copy.
Very true. And it's funny that because we're all designed differently, we're all born differently, we all have different genetics, yet we all want to be the same.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? We are like that. We all probably have these moments as well, going, oh, I wish I could be like that. But you don't need to be like that. Stand out, like I said. Just be you. I cannot stand when people try and take somebody else's kind of style and, oh, I'll just do what she did. I'll copy what he did. And it's like, you want people to remember you for you. You want them to kind of go, oh yeah, that was her. Not, wait a minute, am I getting confused with somebody else? You don't want that. You want them to remember you for you. So be yourself. Definitely number 5, be yourself.
It's very funny you say that, because I was actually at an art gallery last week, and I was talking to the artist and one of his kind of business partners, and he was telling me, his business partner was telling me how one of his cousins was like, I want to do what you're doing, and he was like, yeah, go for it. And then funny enough, she kind of didn't like his reaction. She thought he'd like be bitter, but the funny thing is, if you're gonna compete against somebody, you've got to enjoy it, because eventually you'll give up. So there's no point trying to compete, because it's not your passion. What is the point? You may as well follow your passion rather than wasting your energy doing something that you're not actually enjoying to prove a point.
Exactly. That's exactly my point. You've got to have that passion for it and that drive for it, because if you don't want to do it, there is absolutely no point you being in it whatsoever. You've got to enjoy it. If you enjoy it, you'll want to do it more. When you get good at it, you're going to want to get better. When you get better, you're going to want to be the best. That is the process. You've got to do that. But don't ever kind of keep telling yourself, oh, I'll just do what he did. I'll copy what she did. Oh, that looks good. I'll do that. It doesn't work like that. It just doesn't work like that. You've got to be you. Be you.
Definitely, 100%. I agree with that. So who is your biggest inspiration?
Tough one, again. But I think my biggest inspiration, I have 2. Am I allowed to say 2?
Of course, yeah.
Number 1 would be Sonia Diol.
Oh.
I used to listen to her breakfast shows on the BBC Asian network, and I never ever used to listen to radio before that. She was the only person I used to listen to, and I used to think, how cool would it be if that was my voice? How cool would it be if people woke up every morning listening to me on my show, listening to me, blabbering on about whatever? I used to love it. And then I saw her on TV, and then, amazingly, I actually got to work with her for about 2-3 weeks on, work experience. I got to meet her, and I was like, wow, I'm actually seeing her in person. I'm working with her. I'm helping her. It was amazing. And obviously she's gone off to do better things now, but she was one of the very first people I used to listen to. So I have to kind of put her down as an idol. And I think secondly, it's got to be DJ Caper. She's probably the only female DJ that I know, Asian female DJ, that's kind of started off from the bottom, worked her way up into work, and now she's literally international. She is worldwide. She is now partying on yachts. She's DJing on beaches. She doesn't even live in the UK anymore, and that is amazing. And it's her journey that kind of strikes me. The fact that, she went through radio just how I am, went on to DJing, just how I've got, just what I'm doing right now. And then, she's kind of just blown off. She's taken away, like, the world with this, being the biggest Asian female DJ out there. And I'd love to be like that one day. I would. As much as I love my radio, if I could do parties and DJing on a boat, that would be amazing. So, I think DJ Caper is an inspiration She is an idol.
I can definitely see you going there, so just watch out.
One day.
It will happen. I can feel it. It will happen. So, my dear, what are your future plans? I know obviously you said that you're not sure your future, but what would you say is your ultimate plan?
Yeah, I don't kind of like saying, I'm going to be there, I'm going to be here one day, because sometimes it doesn't work the way you want it to go. But my dream goal would be, I want to go mainstream now. I want to be on a radio platform where I am mainstream. I want to get my voice heard. I want to do the kind of shows I love with my music. And, if I had the opportunity to DJ abroad, that would be amazing as well. Those are my kind of goals. So, I'd like to keep them as goals and aims that I want to kind of focus on, but I don't want to say just one thing, because nobody knows what's going to happen tomorrow. So I can't just say, I'm going to be the best DJ in Miami next year, and that's not really how I want it to go down. But like I said, I'm far from where I am yet. I've still got a very long way to go, but I'm going to work hard at it, and hopefully one day I will be where I want to be, and that's when I can say, right, I've got it, I've done it.
Love it. Absolutely love it, my dear. So we are literally at the end of the show. So where can my listeners find you if they want to get in contact with you or listen to your DJ?
Of course. You can find me on Twitter at Harpreet UK. I'm on SoundCloud, DJ Harpz. I'm on Instagram, DJ Harpz1. And on Facebook as well, DJ Harpz. And don't forget, everything with Harpz in, it's spelled with a Z, just so it's a little bit easier for you to find me. But yeah, I'm everywhere, so go check me out. So if you want me at your wedding, you know where I am.
You've heard it loud and clear, guys. If you're looking for a female Asian DJ, Harpz is your lady.
I'm happy to help.
Bless you, my dear. Well, thank you for being on the show. It's been absolute pleasure of mine having you on. Just, it's great to hear what you're saying as a female Asian lady, because a lot of, like you said, a lot of Asian women, they lack that confidence, and just hearing what you're saying, you're an absolute role model for them.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much for having me as well. It's been a pleasure. And, once again, I love it when I have the chance to kind of, voice my opinion out. I want other girls out there to hear what I'm saying, to hear what I've been through. And hopefully, I do hope that I've managed to kind of, get into somebody's little brain where they're now thinking, actually, you know what? Yeah, I'm just going to go do it. If I can do that, then I'm happy. Then my job is done. That's all I want to do. I just want girls out there to know you can do it. So thank you.
Bless you, my dear. Well, you take care, and I'll speak to you soon.
And you. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye.
What an amazing interview with DJ Harpz. It's great to hear what she was saying, because a lot of us need to realise that we need to believe in ourselves. Because if we don't, we will never achieve what we want in life. Unfortunately, we are at the end of the show. Just before I head off, don't forget that you can find me on Twitter at IamGurds. It's IamGurds. And you can find me on Facebook at Get Inspired with Gurds. And before I head off, here's a quote for you that I want to leave you with. What matters the most is how you see yourself. As Theodore Roosevelt said, believe you can and you're halfway there. Take care, guys, and I'll speak to you soon.
Join us each week to be inspired, informed and uplifted with some of the most inspirational and motivational guests from around the world. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay inspired.